Yo, what is up guys? So we're going to be taking a look at a few new Yu-Gi-Oh cards coming out in the game. But in addition to that, first off, there's actually a pretty cool thing coming out in the TCG called Dual Power, which is actually going to come out with a bunch of really good reprints. We don't know all of them as of right now, but this is huge Yu-Gi-Oh news for any of you guys that play Yu-Gi-Oh in real life. Some of these cards, they're very expensive. They're actually reprinting a bunch of cards. It says it's a new set that includes 40 new cards and 60 hot reprints. These are actually good cards here, like Ghost Ogre. Do you guys know, even the super rare still is just a very pricey card. Even though it has gotten reprinted, it's still like 10 bucks. The secret run, I believe as right now, was like $30. This card is still like $40, $50. And then you have Infinite Impermanence. That's an insanely good reprint card. Demise, Evenly Matched. These are all very, very nice cards. And Borload. And then a Holly Angel. There's a lot of other great cards, except for High Priestess. I haven't really heard of anyone playing that. Some of these cards are just cards that just haven't been reprinted in a long time. Like Materia Beast, it's been a while since we got one. I think the last one maybe was it the Ghost Haunted Mines, which no one really bought, let's be honest here. But anyways, yeah, a lot of great reprints. In addition to that, it says Dual Powers new cards span the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Revisiting the main monsters, Dark Magician, like Magician of Chaos, Cyber Dragon Nash, a lot of stuff that mostly is for, like, I would say the younger audiences. But they even said there's going to be newer cards like Platinum Gadget, the Thunder Dragon, Thunderstorm Mech, Beat Cop from the Underworld, which I believe is the tour guided Link monster. I think that's what they're calling it because I couldn't find anything on this. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. Then this Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. A lot of these are the Link monsters that we never got in the TCG that the OCG had gotten. So this is actually a really good set. Again, we don't know exactly what's in the set, but it says it comes with 6 dual power booster packs, each with 5 ultra rares per pack. So that is pretty cool. And then they also have alternate artworks of Dark Magician, LTR Neos, obviously for the newer support that's going to be coming out. And then the Stardust Dragon, number 39 Utopia, and Odd Eyes, Pendulum Dragon, and Decode Talker, of course. But this, guys, is going to be a really good set. This is dual power, but here's what I'm thinking. Short printed, super hardcore. Yo, I want to know if you guys agree with me on this. I guarantee you all the good cards are going to be short printed. Drop a like if you agree with me on this. I'm just waiting for them to release the ratios, and it's going to be like, yeah, you're going to only get like 1 Ghost Bell and 1 in every like flat. Like the short prints in some of the Konami stuff in the TCG is insane. In fact, sometimes, guys, when the cards get reprinted and they're super short printed, it actually drives the cost of some of the other cards up. Because they go down and then they go right back up in price just because they're super short printed. Meaning that even though you can get some of these new cards, are so rare that it's just so difficult to get that people expect these to come out, they get rid of theirs, and they want to re-buy them. I'm just not even kidding, man. Anyways, like I said, we do have some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards coming out as well, so let's go and check out them. Some of them are actually just cards that are coming out in the OCG that the TCG has had as well. But anyways, Possessed Awakening is a new continuous support card for the Charmers. It's actually pretty good. So it says you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect says monsters you control gain 3 attack for each different attribute of monster you control. The second effect says Charmer and familiar possessed monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Not too bad. But if it's a spellcaster monster with 1850 original attack is normal or special summon to your field, you get to draw a card. Already replenished itself. That's not bad. It could definitely add the idea of just throwing them into other decks. Kind of cool stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to make them very strong, but nonetheless, more Charmer support is kind of cool. I've always really liked the artwork on these cards, but they just really don't see too much play in the competitive scene. Alright, next up, this is actually from the 20th anniversary Duelist block from the Shonen Jump. Now, some of these cards we have already seen, like Junk Speeder. In fact, some of these cards we actually already have. We got the Nebula Neos, and then here's some of the other things that are going to be in here just because we're going over some other Yu-Gi-Oh news. Let's go ahead and cover this as well. So this is Black/Dark Cavalry, which is a level 8 Dark Spellcaster Fusion Effect monster with 2800 attack, 2300 defense points, and its fusion materials are Dark Magician plus 1 Warrior monster. It says it gains 100 attack for each spell or trap card on the field and in the graveyards. Could open the door for some crazy, OTKs. And then also the second effect does piercing damage to a defense monster. And the third effect is when a card or effect is activated that targets a card on the field as a quick effect, you get to discard 1 card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Okay. Next up, we have the Decode Destruction, which is a normal spell card, and it says you can activate a card with this card's name only once per turn. The first effect is to go ahead and target a decode target you control. Apply these effects depending on the number of monsters it points to. It's 1, gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. 2, any monster destroyed by battle with it is banished after damage calculation. 3, if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Next up, we have the Perform Power Smile Sorcerer. So it's a level 8 light spellcaster pendulum effect, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, pendulum scale of 1. The pendulum effect saying you can use the first effect of the pendulum's card's name only once per turn. The first effect being if a monster you control whose current attack is higher than its original attack is destroyed by battle by card effect, you special summon this card from your pendulum zone. The monster effect is you can use each effect amongst the first and second effects with this card's name only once per turn. The first effect being if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a smile. This is a new thing. A smile. Spell a trap from your deck to your hand. If all monsters you control are Perform Power monsters, Magician Pendulum monsters, and or Odd Eyes monsters minimum 1, this card's current attack is higher than its original attack. You can activate this effect for the rest of this turn. You get special summon monsters. Also draw 1 card for each monster you control whose current attack is higher than its original attack. I want to say this reminds me a lot of the Intermate or the Perform Pals, but interesting card indeed. Next up, we have Shining Draw. It's a normal spell card that says to activate this card, you must draw it for your normal draw in your draw phase. Reveal and keep it revealed until main phase 1. During main phase 1, that same turn, you can target a Utopia Exceed monster you control, then activate one of these effects. Equip to that target any number of ZW monsters with different means from your deck and or extra. Whoa, dude, they make ZWs viable? Dude, that's insane. Dude, all you need to do is top deck what this was Plague. And also, I guess, technically have a Utopia. That's crazy. It has to be... If it wasn't drawing it during your normal draw phase, that'd make it so much better. But the fact that you equip any number of ZW monsters, that's actually kind of broken, dude. And extra deck? Anyway, special summon 1 Utopia monster with a different name from your extra deck by using that target as Exceed material is treated as Exceed and transfers all the material. Dude, that is actually pretty cool. I cannot actually wait to actually stream this. I remember back I like hyped up that Utopia deck, and that deck was popular for a long time. This is before a lot of people were playing. In fact, I think this is before Kaijus existed. Yeah, there was a lot of people running this like ZW, this Exo Weapon Utopia deck, and it basically got out. It was one of like the earlier versions of like an uber boss monster that was like, oh, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, can't like destroy by battle. It just had like so much bonus effects with it. But nowadays, I don't think it's that viable. But maybe if you can somehow keep a Utopia alive and then stack one with Plague, and bam, you have access to this. This could be pretty nasty for your opponent to actually run into, because you could actually game them. Because there's actually another card that's going to be supporting this, which we're going to be talking about right now, which is Utopia Double. Anyways, they support the Utopia one-turn kill. Okay, Yuma's deck from the TV show. Okay, we're here to check out the effects. So number 39, Utopia Double. It's a rank 4 light warrior effect monster. Exceed requirements are 2 level 4 monsters. It says you can use the first effect with this card's name only once per turn. As a quick effect for the first one, you can detach 1 material from this card to add 1 double or nothing from your deck to your hand. And then special summon a Utopia Exceed monster from your extra deck except for itself, using this card you control as material. And if you do, double the summon monster's attack. Also make the summon monster unable to attack directly. The summon is treated as Exceed summon, transfer this card's material to the summon monster. Okay. So if you guys are like, what the heck is double or nothing? Because like a lot of you guys probably didn't know about this card. I actually made a deck around it. It's kind of cheesy, but what it is, well, actually, hold on. This is double or nothing. We'll get into that other news in a second. But double or nothing is a quick play spell card that makes it so when a monster attack is negated, you get to target that monster, and during this battle phase, it can attack once again. And if it does, you get to double the attack during the damage step only. And on top of that, that monster's going to have double the attack, so you get to do quadruple the attack, essentially, which, yeah, you're going to be able to potentially one-shot your opponent, more cheesy than anything. But there's also a downside. It's unable to attack directly, but, I mean, pretty much if your opponent has a monster, that's going to be game. I mean, obviously, if you're setting up with this combo where you're drawing it during your normal draw phase, you're probably going to give your opponent a turn if you're just passing with, like, a Utopia, right? Maybe you negate the attack. Whatever the case may be, I think this is kind of cool. It's more for fans than anything. If it's going to be viable, I really don't think so, but it's going to be quality content for a video, so if Now subscribe to the channel, you want to see something stupid, just say subscribe to the channel. Or if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. I'll get that as soon as it comes out. I was actually looking up some of these newer cards that came out. They're not out as of this second on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, but you guys have any gameplay of any of it by the time, maybe tomorrow by the time I wake up, feel free to go ahead and send it in to AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. I'll give you a shout out, hook me up with the gameplay, but I definitely want to do this one as well. I think that this one will just be fun. But anyways, lastly, there is also, oh, we got another new card, but there's also some lost art promotions. So if you guys didn't know, a lot of the TCG and OCG artworks, they're a little bit different. They're, I guess, less evil. A lot of things has to do with like horns, for example. On Steel Drain, like the horns, for example. Same thing with like Soul Drain. Ring of Destruction got its artwork changed. In fact, I like the TCG one a lot more. But it's just some of the lost artwork. So that's kind of cool. For any of you guys that are collectors, you're going to have to pick these up. Because I know some people do just like to collect the nostalgic cards. But yeah, this one, it has grenades on it. It used to have like these little Ring of Fires. I actually really do like the TCG artwork over the OCG one. This is like one of the exceptions here. But a lot of these cards, they just like removed a bunch of the like horns. That's pretty much the changes on like most of these. Call of the Haunted on the tombstones, instead of it just didn't have like a cross on it. A lot of that stuff was basically changed. But there's also God Eyes Phantom Dragon coming out into the game. But anyways, this is God Eyes Phantom Dragon. It's a Level 10 Light Dragon Special Summon Pendulum Effect Monster with 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense points, Pendulum Scale of 0. Pendulum Effect saying once per turn, if a Dragon Pendulum monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, at the end of that damage step, you can activate this effect. That monster you control can attack again in a row. You can't declare attacks the turn you activate this effect, except to have that monster attack. Some of this wording, it should be like this is the only monster that can attack this turn. Make it so much simpler. But anyways, monster effects can't be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned from your hand or extra deck while you control 2+ monsters, including a Dragon Pendulum monster. By turning all monsters you control, you cannot special summon God Eyes Phantom Dragon more than once per turn this way. First effect of its monster effect is once per turn, this card battles a opponent's monster. During damage calculation, you can double this card's attack until the end of this turn, which makes it 6,000. And then the second effect is once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell trap or spell trap effect as a quick effect, you get to send one spell trap card you control to negate the activation. This is actually pretty key because some cards, they're like continuous or they have different like conditions, and that's really good because sometimes it only stops the activation of them. And you can't stop them from activating the effect of something that's already available on the board because it was technically already activated. So that's actually pretty cool. Interesting to see. I want to say this is one of the first times I'm remembering that we're getting one of these that actually specifies this type of a quick effect where it's like you're negating not only the activation or the effect of it. But that's kind of cool. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of any of the cards down below. If you're not following me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I'm going to definitely be streaming as soon as they come out with that Utopia weapons. Because I remember you guys loved it. It was kind of a more anime-inspired, cheesy kind of thing to do when you're just, like, making this, like, unbeatable like, Utopia where it has, like... We're going to get this Utopia up to, like, I don't know. We can maybe try to get, like, 20,000 attack pretty easy. We'll see what we can do just for the memes. It obviously doesn't matter if you're doing 20,000 points of damage. Unless you're playing against someone that runs something that's going to heal them up, like one of those soul absorption decks. Still one shot, that'd be great content indeed. But if you guys got any gameplay footage of anything before I get it, feel free to go ahead and, like I said, send it in. Would love to really see someone pull off a God Eyes Phantom Dragon. I remember they announced this card, they kind of hypes it up, and I just feel like the effect is not, it doesn't feel like that, like, ultimate, I mean, it says God Eyes. I expected it to be a lot better than that. I expected some kind of crazy, like, I'm going to win this turn. I mean, it does have that effect where, you know, you're going to be able to have it attack again. But maybe if it had 6,000 attack, this would be much cooler. And double its attack. I don't know, just make it a little bit more appealing. But, like I said, I feel like this set is really great news for a lot of us. But wait till you see the prints, boys, before you get too excited and buy too many of these. Because you guys know short prints are a thing. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh content as well as Yu-Gi-Oh news. And I'm signing out.